Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and curious minds. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of American coinage and unlocking the incredible story behind a seemingly ordinary yet shockingly valuable coin, the 1788 to 2000p mint mark Washington quarter dollar. You heard that right. This particular quarter, often passed from hand to hand without a second glance, could be worth a jaw-dropping $94,769 in today's market. Yes, that's nearly $100,000 for just 25 cents of face value. How is this possible? Let's unravel the story. Let's start with a bit of historical context. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Since then, it has become a cornerstone of American pocket change, making its way into every corner of the country. But in the year 1999, the United States Mint kicked off a bold and ambitious project, the State Quarters Program. This program aimed to release unique quarter designs for all 50 U.S. states, 5 U.S. territories, and the District of Columbia, rolled out over a 10-year period. Each quarter featured a design on the reverse representing something iconic about that state. Delaware was first in 1999, and Hawaii closed out the main series in 2008. Each coin still bore the familiar bust of George Washington on the front, but the reverse changed state by state. Now here's where the magic starts to happen. Among the many coins produced during this period, one particular issue stands out: the 1788 to 2000 Washington quarter with AP mint mark. The 1788 refers to the year New York became a state, and this coin was part of the New York State quarter release in the year 2000. The P mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Now, normally, coins from the Philadelphia Mint are not especially rare. In fact, it's often the most prolific of the mints. But rarity isn't just about how many were made, it's also about how many survived in perfect or unusual condition. In the case of this specific coin, what makes it so desirable is a mix of several factors. First, the coin has historical significance because it commemorates both a state and a pivotal year in American history. Second, it has become extremely scarce in pristine condition. We're talking about coins that are graded at the absolute top of the scale, like mint state 68, 69, or even 70. A coin graded that high means it has virtually no marks, no wear, and looks almost exactly as it did when it left the press. But condition isn't the only thing driving the value. There are also unique varieties, errors, and quirks that have been discovered. Some of these 1788 to 2000p mint quarters feature double dies, off-center strikes, or other unusual production mishaps that occurred during the minting process. These minting errors are like the unicorns of the coin world, extremely rare and incredibly desirable. Collectors pay a premium for these oddities, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars or more, but what really sent the value of this coin into the stratosphere was a single auction that stunned the collecting community. One of these quarters, in flawless condition and featuring a known mint error, was sold for $94,769. That sale, fully verified and documented, set the benchmark and sparked a frenzy of interest. Since then, collectors have been scouring their coin jars, old drawers, and rolls of quarters from the bank, hoping to stumble upon a hidden treasure. So, what should you be looking for if you think you might have one of these valuable coins? First, check the obverse. That's the front side, for the P mint mark just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. Make sure the date reads 2000. Then flip the coin over and check the reverse design. It should show a detailed depiction of New York State, featuring the Statue of Liberty and an outline of the state behind her, with the caption "Gateway to Freedom." And don't forget the date 1788, which signifies the year New York ratified the Constitution. Next, you'll want to assess the coin's condition. If it's shiny, free of scratches, and looks like it just came from the mint, you may have something special. And if you really think your coin stands out, it's worth getting it professionally graded. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your coin, grade it, and encapsulate it for protection. A high-grade certification can turn a nice coin into a life-changing payday. But remember, not every 1788 to 2000 quarter is worth a fortune. Most are still worth face value or just a few dollars to collectors. The difference comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. Still, it never hurts to check, especially when the potential payoff is so high. So why does this coin matter so much in the bigger picture? Well, it's a perfect example of how something ordinary can become extraordinary over time. Coins tell stories. They're physical links to our history, our economy, and our culture. A simple quarter might not seem like much, but when it carries the weight of symbolism, state pride, minting rarity, and collector passion, it can suddenly become one of the most valuable objects in a person's collection. As of now, this coin continues to capture attention on the collector's market. Auctions, online listings, and private sales all reflect a steady and sometimes rising interest in this piece. Though the $94,000 sale remains the high point, similar coins have fetched tens of thousands, depending on their specific features. It's proof that numismatics, the study and collection of coins, is not just a hobby. For some, it's an investment. And for others, it's a lifelong passion. The next time you get change at the store, take a second look before you drop it in a coin jar. You never know, you just might be holding a piece of American history worth nearly 100 grand. Thanks for watching and joining us on this deep dive into the 1788 to 2000p mint mark Washington quarter dollar. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow collectors or anyone who might have some spare change lying around. Until next time, keep collecting, keep hunting, and who knows, you might be the next person to strike coin gold. Welcome back to the channel, where we uncover hidden treasures in your pocket change. Today's episode is all about a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but could be worth a small fortune. We're talking about the 1994 Washington quarter dollar with a P mint mark. That's right, the coin you might have in your junk drawer or piggy bank could actually be worth a staggering $86,401. So sit back, relax, and let's dive deep into the story behind this incredible piece of American numismatic history. Let's start with the basics. The 1994 Washington quarter is part of the standard series that began in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse of the coin features the familiar profile of Washington himself, while the reverse until 1998 carried the image of the American eagle perched proudly on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. In 1994, these quarters were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, and for collectors, San Francisco. The P mint mark on this coin means it was minted in Philadelphia. Now here's where things start to get interesting. Normally, a 1994 P quarter is worth just face value, 25 cents. But in the world of coin collecting, condition, rarity, and errors can dramatically change the value of a coin. The coin in question today is not just any 1994 P quarter. It is one of the finest known examples in pristine condition, and in the world of collectors, that's like finding the Holy Grail. Let's talk numbers. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 825 million of these quarters in 1994, so at first glance, you might think that this coin is far too common to be valuable. But here's the twist. Among those hundreds of millions, only a tiny fraction survive in gem mint state condition. And we're not talking about coins that just look shiny. We mean coins that have been graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC at MS 68 or higher. MS stands for mint state, and 68 is nearly flawless on a 70-point scale. Coins at this grade are rare, and collectors will pay big bucks to own one. So how did a 1994 P quarter go from pocket change to a price tag of $86,401? Simple. Scarcity plus condition equals high demand. In a major auction, One of these top-graded coins shattered expectations and sold for that astonishing amount. The exact figure, $86,401, reflects the extreme rarity of a coin in this pristine state. It's not just about the year or the mint mark. It's about having a coin that looks like it just left the mint yesterday, with perfect luster, no scratches, no marks, and perfect strike detail. Now let's touch on history. The 1994 P quarter came at a time when the U.S. Mint was still producing traditional designs before launching the state quarters program in 1999. Back then, quarters were often overlooked by collectors unless they had errors or were struck in low numbers. But as time went on, coin grading became more popular and collectors started to look back at modern coins from the 90s and reevaluate their significance. This brought new attention to coins like the 1994 P quarter and sparked a hunt for the best preserved specimens. And what about errors? While the most valuable example is a perfect specimen, there are error coins from 1994 that also fetch high prices. Some may show double die obverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks. While these errors might not reach the same value as the perfect MS-68 coin, they can still be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on the severity and rarity of the mistake. Let's say you want to check your own quarters now. What should you look for? First, check the mint mark. You want the P mark, located just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Next, look at the overall condition. Is the coin shiny and clean? Does it have full detail? Are there any scratches or dents? If your coin looks perfect, it might be worth sending to a grading service. Keep in mind, grading isn't free, but if your coin comes back as MS-67 or MS-68, it could be a life-changing discovery. So, what is the current market value of the top-tier 1994 P Washington quarter? As of the latest auction results, the highest price paid was $86,401. Yes, you heard that right. A 25-cent coin turned into a small fortune. Of course, not every 1994 P quarter is worth that much. But it goes to show you that modern coins can hold incredible hidden value, especially when preserved in top condition. Before we wrap up, here's a quick tip. If you're hunting through change or rolls of quarters from the bank, don't overlook the ones from the 90s. While they may seem common, these years are gaining popularity among collectors, especially as fewer uncirculated coins survive over time. The 1994 P is just one example of how patience, attention to detail, and a little bit of luck can lead to a major payday. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update on coins that could make you rich. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin or if you're going to start searching for the 1994 P quarter. This has been another exciting deep dive into coin collecting, and remember, your next treasure might already be in your pocket. See you in the next video. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we talk coins, currency, and collectibles that could be hiding in your pockets or drawers right now. Today, we are diving deep into a coin that might just shock you with its value. We are talking about the 2014 D Washington quarter. That is right. A modern coin from just a few years ago is making waves in the numismatic world. Why? Because one of these coins, yes, the one with the Denver Mint mark, is valued at a jaw-dropping $99,682. Let us break down everything you need to know. The history behind the coin. The Washington quarter has a long and proud history going back to 1932. It was first issued to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Since then, it has become a staple in American pockets, purses, and piggy banks. Fast forward to 2010, and the United States Mint launched the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This series celebrated national parks and historic sites from each state and territory. The 2014 quarters were part of that series. In 2014, there were 5 designs released, and one of them featured Great Sand Dunes National Park in Colorado. This coin was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, San Francisco, and of course Denver. That is the one we are focusing on today. The Denver Mint quarters are marked with a small letter D just above the word quarter on the reverse side of the coin, The 2014 D quarter. Why is it so special now, you might be wondering? What makes this particular coin so valuable? After all, millions were made, right? Yes, over 200 million 2014 D quarters were produced. But here's the kicker. Not all of them were made equally. Some of them came out with rare errors. Others were struck under unusual conditions. A few were preserved in pristine condition that graded out as near perfect at professional grading services. And one or two examples were discovered to have unique minting anomalies that have driven collectors wild. One such coin recently sold for $99,682. That is not a typo. It is a real auction record, and it sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. The coin was flawless. Its details were sharp. Its surfaces were smooth and free of scratches or contact marks. It had a strong strike and a beautiful luster. All the traits you want to see in a top-tier specimen. Grading and rarity. Grading plays a huge role in coin value. The Sheldon scale ranges from 1 to 70. Most coins you find in circulation fall somewhere between 15 and 55. But the high-dollar coins tend to be mint state 65 and up. That means no wear, no damage, and lots of eye appeal. The $99,000 2014 D quarter was graded MS68, which is incredibly rare for that issue. Some experts believe there may be fewer than 10 known in that condition. Now let us talk about population reports. These reports show how many coins of a certain type and grade exist. When the population is low and demand is high, the price goes up. That is basic economics. And when it comes to the 2014 D quarter, high-grade examples are few and far between. That is what makes this coin so valuable. Other errors and varieties to look for. Even if you do not have a perfect mint state coin, you might still be holding something special. Some 2014 D quarters have been found with doubling. That is where parts of the design appear to be duplicated slightly because of a misalignment during the minting process. Others have die cracks, cuts, or off-center strikes. These types of errors can also fetch a premium, especially if they are dramatic and easy to see with the naked eye. Another thing to look for is coins that were struck on the wrong planchet. Sometimes a quarter design gets stamped onto a nickel or dime blank. When that happens, you end up with a seriously rare coin that collectors will pay big bucks to own. What to do if you think you have one? So let us say you have a 2014 D quarter and it looks pretty nice. What should you do? First, give it a careful look under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. Check the surfaces for any errors, doubling, or unusual marks. Then take note of the overall condition. Is it worn? Does it have scratches? If it looks nearly perfect, you may want to send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will authenticate the coin and assign it a grade, which could make a big difference in value. You can also take it to a local coin dealer or attend a coin show and ask for an expert opinion. Just be sure to do your homework. There are a lot of resources online, including price guides, forums, and video tutorials like this one. Current market value and trends. Right now, the market for rare modern coins is hotter than ever. More collectors are entering the hobby, and demand for high-quality coins continues to grow. The $99,000 sale of the 2014 D quarter was a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and collector frenzy. Most circulated examples are worth face value. Some slightly better ones might fetch $5 to $10. High-grade certified examples can range from $50 to a few $100. But the rarest of the rare, those MS68 gems or coins with significant errors, that is where the real money is. The 2014 D Washington quarter might seem ordinary at first glance. But if you take the time to look closely, you could uncover something extraordinary. Coins like these prove that even pocket change can hold hidden treasures. So the next time you get change at the grocery store, take a moment to flip through your quarters. Who knows? You might just have a $99,000 coin in your hand. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting tips, rare finds, and valuable information. Drop a comment below if you have a 2014 D quarter or any other interesting coins you want to learn more about. Until next time, Keep searching and happy collecting. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today we're diving deep into a fascinating and incredibly valuable modern coin, the 2018 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. You heard that right. A coin that's only a few years old and yet, in certain rare conditions, is worth as much as $43,000 on the current market. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you might be checking your pocket change a little more closely. Let's get started. Quick overview of the 2018 D quarter. In 2018, the United States Mint continued its long-running America the Beautiful Quarters program. This initiative, which started in 2010, featured unique national park and historic site designs on the reverse of quarters. That year, 5 different designs were released, representing pictured rocks in Michigan, Apostle Islands in Wisconsin, Voyagers in Minnesota, Cumberland Island in Georgia, and Block Island in Rhode Island. The D Mint mark stands for the Denver Mint. Coins with this mark were struck in Denver, Colorado, and are distributed mostly across the western half of the United States. While millions were produced, it's not just about how many exist. It's about which rare errors and pristine conditions make some of these quarters extremely valuable. Why is the 2018 D quarter so valuable? So why is a coin minted so recently being valued as high as $43,000? There are 2 main reasons. First, rarity of condition. Second, minting errors. Let's break them down. Rarity of condition. Most quarters enter circulation almost immediately and are exposed to wear and tear. But a small number are set aside, often by collectors or lucky individuals who find uncirculated coins straight from mint rolls or bags. When a coin is graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC and receives a grade of mint state 67, 68, or even 69, its value skyrockets. The higher the grade, the rarer the coin becomes. Now, combine that with high demand from collectors who want a perfect example of each quarter in the America the Beautiful series, especially with a Denver Mint mark, and the value goes up even further. Minting errors. Here's where things get really exciting. Some 2018 D quarters have been discovered with extraordinary minting errors. Double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die breaks. These are all highly sought after and often command thousands of dollars at auction. But the holy grail is a perfect storm, a rare mint error on a coin that's also in near-perfect, uncirculated condition. The $43,000 quarter. So where does the $43,000 price tag come from? Well, in recent years, there have been reports of certified 2018 D quarters selling at auction for tens of thousands of dollars. One in particular, featuring a major die error combined with a mint state 69 grade, was sold through a high-profile coin auction for $43,000. That's not your everyday pocket change, and let's be clear, not every 2018 D quarter is worth that much. Most are worth face value. But the ones with the right error and pristine condition are the ones that make collectors go wild. What to look for now, you might be wondering. How do you know if you've got one of these ultra-valuable coins? Here are a few tips. First, look for any unusual markings. That means doubling in the letters or numbers, unusual lines or cracks on the coin, or anything that looks out of the ordinary. Second, pay attention to centering. Is the image aligned properly or is it slightly off? Third, examine the coin's surface. Is it shiny and clean, or does it have scratches and dings? A coin that looks flawless to the naked eye could be worth getting graded. And finally, check the mint mark. You're looking for the letter D, that means it was struck in Denver. How to get your coin appraised? So let's say you think you've got a winner. What's next? You'll want to have the coin professionally graded. 2 of the most trusted services are PCGS and NGC. You can send your coin in or find a local dealer to help you through the process. Grading does cost money, so it's best to make sure your coin looks like it might score a high grade or contains an obvious error before spending on the service. If your coin gets a high grade or is confirmed to have a rare error, congratulations. You might be holding onto a valuable piece of modern numismatic history, current market value, and demand. Let's talk about the market. Right now, rare error coins and high-grade modern coins are hot. The combination of increased interest in coin collecting and the accessibility of online auctions has driven prices up. For the 2018 D quarter, coins graded MS65 typically sell for around $20 to $30. MS67 can fetch a few hundred. MS68 and above, that's where the big money comes in, with rare examples reaching thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. The record-breaking $43,000 coin is the outlier. But it sets the ceiling for just how high these values can go to SO. The next time you get change back from the store or pop open a roll of quarters, take a closer look. That simple 2018 D Washington quarter might just be worth more than you ever imagined. With a sharp eye and a little bit of luck, you could discover a coin that changes your life, or at least gives you a very nice payday. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting insights, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin in your change. Who knows, maybe your story will be the next one we feature. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a coin that has surprised collectors and investors alike with its incredible rise in value over the past few years. We're talking about the 2019 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin. That's right, a coin that many people may have just let pass through their hands without a second thought, now turning heads in the numismatic world with a current market value of $65,002. You heard that correctly. $65,002. So, what exactly makes this coin so special? Why has this once ordinary-looking quarter become the centerpiece of so many collections? And how did its value rise so dramatically in just a few years? Well, that's exactly what we're going to uncover in today's video. Let's start with the basics. The 2019 Washington quarter was part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which ran from 2010 through 2021. In 2019, the U.S. Mint released 5 different quarters as part of the series, each commemorating a different national park or site. But what made the 2019 quarters unique is that for the very first time, the U.S. Mint introduced a special West Point Mint Mark W version of each design to stimulate interest in coin collecting. However, today we're not talking about the W Mint Mark coins. We're zooming in on the Philadelphia minted coin, the one with the P Mint mark. Now here's where things get really interesting. Most people assume the Philadelphia Mint coins are common, and for the most part, that's true. But not all coins are created equal. Among the millions of 2019 P quarters minted, there are a few that stand out due to extremely rare errors, extremely high grades, or both. And one of those coins recently made headlines for being sold at an auction for $65,002. So what happened? Why did that particular 2019 P Mint Mark quarter sell for so much money? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about condition. In the world of coin collecting, condition is king. The closer a coin is to perfect condition, the more desirable it is. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless example. This particular 2019 P quarter was graded at a nearly perfect level by one of the top grading services, likely either PCGS or NGC. Coins that achieve grades of MS68, MS69, or even a perfect MS70 are incredibly rare, and they draw massive attention from collectors looking to own the best of the best. But condition alone isn't the whole story. There's also the possibility of errors. Error coins are like rare gems in the coin world. A slight misstrike, a double die, off-center strikes, die cracks, or any other form of minting mistake can instantly transform a standard coin into a highly collectible treasure. In the case of the 2019 P quarter that sold for a huge sum, experts believe it had a unique and well-documented error, possibly a dramatic strike-through, a rare double die, or even a planchet error that made it stand out from millions of others. And let's not forget about timing and demand. When a coin like this hits the auction block, collectors often go head-to-head in fierce bidding wars. Scarcity plus demand equals skyrocketing prices. That's basic economics. The buyer who paid over $65,000 for this coin wasn't just buying metal. They were buying a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own something truly special. So let's go back and put it all together. You've got a 2019 quarter from the Philadelphia Mint. On the surface, nothing too flashy, but it's graded at a near-perfect level. It features an extremely rare mint error, and it's part of a historic series that marked a turning point in modern U.S. coinage. Add to that the increasing interest in coin collecting and investing, and suddenly you've got the perfect storm for a high-value coin. Now you might be wondering, do I have one of these in my own collection? And that's a great question. The answer is maybe. Check your 2019 quarters carefully. Look for the P-Mint mark, check for any unusual features, and most importantly, look at the condition. If your coin is in amazing shape and appears to have any sort of error, it may be worth sending in to be professionally graded. Keep in mind, not every 2019 P quarter is worth thousands, but there's no harm in looking. Some people have found similar coins in circulation and sold them for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. It's like a modern-day treasure hunt. So what does this all mean for the coin market? Well, coins like the 2019 P quarter show that the market is alive and thriving. Rare finds are still out there. And more importantly, everyday people still have a chance to uncover serious value just by paying attention to their pocket change. Before we wrap up, let's quickly go over the current market value one more time. As of now, the highest recorded sale for the 2019 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar coin is $65,002. Yes, over 65 grand for a quarter that someone might have once used to pay for a soda, and there you have it. The incredible story of how a simple coin became a small fortune. Let this be a reminder to check your change, do your research, and maybe even start that coin collection you've been thinking about. You never know what you might find. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our next episode where we uncover more hidden treasures in the world of coins and collectibles. Drop a comment below if you think you might have one of these valuable quarters or if there's another coin you want us to explore next. Until next time, happy collecting and good luck on your hunt.